Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network. Alright, y'all see what we got going on here today. Well, check this out, man. Your girl Angela Simmons trying to understand why the feds looking into the daily activities, not only of Yo Gotti, but everybody affiliated with CMG, including his brother Big Jook and their guard dog Black Youngster. Because Angela, she's not aware of how much her dude Yo Gotti and his CMG affiliates is allegedly involved with taking out Paper Route Frank at the cookie shop. We have to say allegedly until the Alphabet Boys actually get someone connected with Yo Gotti to admit he paid that bag to remove Young Dolph. I already know everybody who's fans and supporters of Young Dolph for years are aware of the people or the person who had the motive to remove Man. Now the motive is part of the plan to understand who has the resources and connections all through Memphis and is also in the position financially to drop a bag and have people on standby ready to eliminate one's competition through a phone call. Now y'all gotta understand the reason why I brought up making a phone call to remove Young Dolph, because Raven stated herself that one of the employees from Makita's informed her soon as Young Dolph walked into the cookie shop, a man called and was only on the phone for 10 seconds. And soon as they hung up the phone, that's when Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith hopped out the white Benz spraying shells everywhere. Now they did that to make it seem like they were aiming at Young Dolph, but it would be impossible to only hit Young Dolph when there's 5 other people in the cookie shop with Young Dolph that caught no shells. So how do you explain that? Man, folks, they was making it seem like Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith were supreme snipers. To hop out a vehicle with semi-autos and only hit one person? Man, we talking about some regular low-level street cats that was paid to do a job, which was to distract everybody by spraying shells in front of the store, while Maurice snuck off to the back to open up the door for Govan so he could take out Young Dolph without hitting anyone else in there. That's why Young Dolph was the only person who caught 22 shells, while everybody else in there made it out alive. But the phone call that was made when Young Dolph walked into Makita's was the warning call for everybody to duck once this phone hung up. Understand, this play to take out Paper Route Frank was orchestrated months in advance, because Young Dolph made so many moves throughout the day, let alone a week of activities that Young Dolph was involved in pertaining to the rap game. For example, I'm talking about being in the studio, recording songs, and also getting his artists in the studio as well, creating content, aka making videos, doing interviews, and selling merch. You will have to pay someone to watch Young Dolph moves on a daily basis. This is where one of Key Glock's homeboys, Straight Drop, was paid to infiltrate Paper Route for Yo Gotti, his brother Big Jook, and their guard dog Black Youngster, so that they could have somebody on the inside watching Young Dolph moves at all times. But the way that Straight Drop played Key Glock to get to Young Dolph was bogus, because Straight Drop, he tricked Key Glock into believing he wanted to be an artist, a part of Paper Route, but again, only to watch Young Dolph moves for Yo Gotti and his brother Big Jook. And that's basically the reason why Key Glock don't trust many people, because his close friend was paid to infiltrate PRE and take out Paper Route Frank. It's crazy to know after the fact, when you was trying to put somebody on, make some legal money in a rap game, but on the flip side, they using you to engage in illegal criminal activity. Now, before we continue, let's pay our respects to the King of Memphis and say rest in peace to Young Dolph, condolences to his family, and much love to all my folks in Dolph Land. To all my folks in Dolph Land, aka Castay, y'all keep y'all heads up. I know y'all missing a real one out there, because nobody was looking out for the youngsters in their community the way that Young Dolph did. I'm talking about all the giveaways, food drives, and free concerts. That's the reason why everybody that's affiliated with Paper Route, they still looking out for their hoods, because that's what Young Dolph had taught them. You make the bread and you look out for your loved ones. I'm telling y'all, Dolph, he ain't want nobody in his circle if they ain't take care of their kids. And that's the reason why Young Dolph will surely be missed. And we know that young Dolph, he used a lot of resources to look out for those in his community. Again, almost every month, young Dolph, he had a giveaway. He was either investing in a small business in Memphis, donating and paying families rent, or investing in those who had good ideas. Just shows y'all that young Dolph was a genuine real cat. So while y'all at it, go ahead and drop those Dolphs in the comments and show your love and support for Paper Route Frank. Back to the story. Now that everybody played their part and did what Yo Gotti wanted them to do, which was to remove his competition, he don't need them no more. Now if they turn coat, Yo Gotti has good paid attorneys. That will make it seem like these people involved to take out Paper Route Frank did it all on their own accord. That setting up young Dolph had nothing to do with Yo Gotti. Especially if they can't point out Yo Gotti's motive behind the plot. In order to bring down Yo Gotti, everybody who participated would have to admit their position and what they was actually paid for. Basically, one would need concrete evidence to show proof that a person had full intentions and the motive to commit the act of removing young Dolph. Hey man, we've been trying to tell y'all, everybody that's affiliated with Heavy Camp and CMG, they getting investigated. Because the feds, they gonna see who gonna spill the beans based around who paid that bag to pay off all these people to set up young Dolph. Trust me, the feds, they gonna talk to Angela next. She don't understand how many people Yo Gotti had in position on his chessboard to set up young Dolph. From the young dudes affiliated with Chula, the Scorpion unit, and them people at Makita's, was all pawns on Yo Gotti's chessboard. If they didn't understand it then, trust me, they understand that now. But a lot of folks believed Angela was sent to Yo Gotti through Jay-Z to make sure the label don't go down with the captain. Let's be real, the ship with all the products is way more important than the captain because he can be replaced. Since Jay-Z has majority ownership in CMG, he not just gonna let it crash and burn. Because for one, Yo Gotti's catalog can still sell for a good amount to some high bidders. Plus CMG, they have some talented artists on their roster. So by Jay-Z having majority ownership of CMG, all they gonna do is vote out Yo Gotti once the feds come knocking on his door. But let me tell y'all this, I'm a young Dolph supporter. I like the moves he made to put himself and other brothers in position to take care of themselves and their families. But I also understand the streets. And when young Dolph rapped about Yo Gotti brother Big Jook being a lame and also admitted to smashing Yo Gotti BM, I knew young Dolph ops wasn't gonna stop until they sent him up. Because not only was Dolph competition, he also played on Yo Gotti's little man ego. And because he was also doing so much for the city of Memphis, it rubbed Yo Gotti and some other cats out there the wrong way. And knowing Yo Gotti had guys out there ready to ride for him, young Dolph, he should have been more aware and well prepared. Especially if you know your ops tried to take you out 3 times before. That's why it's a lot of folks out there, including young Dolph family, they feel like he should have never went back to Memphis. Not just because of the back and forth with Yo Gotti, but mostly due to the Scorpion unit antagonizing young Dolph every chance that they got. So even though you had a lot of folks in Memphis who had love for young Dolph, you also had a lot of people out there that wanted him out the way. So with that, always be aware and always stay prepared. But hey, we got more in store. As always, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network.